Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a little bit of a look at a new Drapion card. Cool, right? Any Drapion fans out there? Hit me up in the comments. The translation here does come from a mixture of the lovely Joe over at Cerebi.net and the lovely me using Google Translate to try and figure out whatever I gosh darn well can. And stage 1 Pokemon, 140 HP to start off with. Yeah. I can be on board with that, ladies and gentlemen. 140 HP is a lot for a stage 1, so that's pretty gosh darn cool. Count me in, ladies and gentlemen. Count me in. Retreat cost of 4 is also lovely. It means that buff padding will give you an extra 50 HP. It means that it can be searched out using Pokemaniac. So all in all, ladies and gentlemen, not too bad. Now, the weakness to fighting is where we start going wrong. Because you've got stuff like Buzzwole running around, but then you've got really great stuff like Pikachu and Zekrom that... well, they're weak to fighting, right? So people are going to be trying to get fighting, which means they're going to get you, and that's really sad. Boo, etc. I do like the resistance to weakness with stuff like Mewtwo and Mew running around, because even if you're not going to do much against Mewtwo and Mew, and bearing in mind they're a big bad tag team GX, there's going to be a whole bunch of psychic stuff trying to counter Mewtwo and Mew, and the psychic resistance might be pretty good against that. And then you're a darkness Pokemon. And first of all, it means you got Black Market Prism Star, so you don't give up any prizes if you get KO'd and have a Darkness Energy attached. That's quite nice. But we've got a couple of new tricks for Darkness Pokemon coming. Firstly, we've got Night City. Now, Night City only gives free retreat to basic Darkness Pokemon, not evolved, and your pre-evolution is not Skorupi. It's Psychic, not Darkness. But you're probably going to be playing this with other Darkness stuff and they get free retreat. The other thing is we're getting Weavile GX, and Weavile GX has a phenomenal ability that lets you move all of your Darkness energy around the field as you like. That's kind of cool by me, ladies and gentlemen. So we got some nice stuff going on here, but what does it actually do? Well, the first attack here for free colourless energy, flip 4 coins. This attack does 50 damage for each heads. If 2 or more of them are heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Well, that gives us some stuff to sink our teeth into now, doesn't it? This is really nice. This basically means that you can have a really big attack on a single prize non-GX. Now, on the one hand, it is for free energy, which sounds like a lot, but I've already mentioned Weavile. Weavile can move the energy from anywhere. So, something like a Darkrai Prism Star here, you bench it and attach 2 Darkness Energy from your hand to it. You can then use Weavile to just move it right over, and then attach 1 for the turn and you're golden. But we also have Triple Acceleration Energy here, and I like Triple Acceleration Energy. And I seem to be mentioning this in a whole bunch of my videos lately, and there's a very good reason why. It's phenomenal. It's free colourless energy when attached to an evolved Pokemon, but it falls off at the end of your turn. So for 1 turn, it gives you free colourless energy. That's wonderful. Here, you pay the attack cost in 1 go. Now look, we've lost Puzzle of Time, and that's not to this rotation, it's to last rotation, /banned. And we've lost Special Charge, so getting them back is not easy. But we have 1 energy, which can pay this attack cost in 1 go. Now, bearing in mind, you don't have to use this. You can use stuff like Weavile and Darkrai Prism Star. But you've got 1 energy which pays this right off the bat. And this is one of those annoying attacks where it's really good but really expensive. Except it's not that expensive anymore. So now we're kind of okay with it. Now, in terms of the damage here, it's a little bit of a weird one. Because you see, it's fine, but it's not amazing. Really, you need 3 heads here. 3 heads is where you start getting to the point of, ooh, alrighty then, I'm cool with this. Because 3 heads means you hit 150. And that means you're getting the majority of non-GXs, the Buzzwole we mentioned earlier, Granbull, even with resistance. Even a bunch of stage 2s like Vikavolt have 150 or less. So you're getting a whole bunch of Pokemon. Thing is, that's 3 heads out of 4. Now, generally speaking, flipping 4 coins with a 50-50 chance of heads on each, you should be expecting to flip 2 heads. You should be expecting this to do 100 damage. Well, 100 isn't quite enough. And sure, I've said 3 heads 150 is great, but you're not always going to have 3 heads 150. And that's a problem. Now, the good news is, if you only flip 2 heads, and we are expecting to flip 2 heads, you get poison here. So it's not really 100, it's 110. And that poison putting you from 100 to 110 can be huge. If we take something like a Zapdos, 100 damage won't get a 1-hit KO, but 100 damage plus poison absolutely will. And alright, fine, there aren't that many Pokemon with 110 HP, but there are some. They're dotted around here and there. And this is where we get to, okay, cool kind of territory. Now, we are losing Victini, that does need to be stated. Victini would let you reflip. Of course, you're just as likely here to flip 1 heads and hit 50 as you are 3 heads and hit 150. So, if you flip 2 heads and went, oh, I desperately need the third and reflip to a Victini, you're just as likely to end up further away than you are actually getting the KO. And the thing is, even if things are weak, we could look at something like Dawnwing's Necrozma. Dawnwing's Necrozma has 180 HP and a weakness to darkness. So if you flip 2 heads, yay, get a KO. But what about something like Gengar and Mimikyu? Gengar and Mimikyu's got 240. So with 2 heads, you hit 100, doubled is 200, plus poison is 210. Yeah, we're done, unfortunately. In the expanded format, you've got Burbank City Gym, you've also got Seviper, and we're fine with this. But the problem is we don't have them in Standard, and we kind of need them in Standard. We do have Dust Island, which is quite nice. Dust Island is a stadium whereby if your opponent uses a trainer card to switch their poisoned active with the bench, the new active is poisoned to the same degree as the old active was. Which helps if they're trying to switch out with trainer cards, like Indeed Switch, but it's still not getting KOs. And look, if you don't want to play that, you could always just play Shrine of Punishment, but the problem is that Shrine of Punishment puts 1 damage counter on each EX and GX between turns. It doesn't actually get the KO. With Poison and Shrine of Punishment, you're still only up to 220. Now, maybe you can get a bit of extra damage on there, maybe you can get a few turns of Shrine of Punishment, but with Choice Band having rotated out, and Professor Kukui having rotated out, you're actually not getting a KO on this. And the thing is, you're a Darkness Pokemon, and you're a Stage 1, and you're free energy, and you might be getting a KO if you're going to hit enough flips, but it's not actually likely that you're going to. But we've still got stuff like Umbreon from Lost Thunder, which can get a fairly easy 1-hit KO. And Spiritomb, that after a couple turns of using the ability to do a bit of damage to yourself, can go and get the KO. I think we've got better Darkness Pokemon. If you can guarantee the damage, it is redonk, and I adore it. But can you guarantee the damage? It really depends how lucky you're feeling. I love that we can use triple acceleration energy, and I love that it's a Darkness Pokemon with all the new tricks we've got, but even if you hit the 2 heads, it's not doing enough. Even if you hit 4 heads, you're only up to 210 with the poison. And that's great for Stage 1 GXs like Lycanroc or Naganadel. But it's not even good enough for getting Stage 2 GXs or Tag Team GXs. Yeah, I remain unconvinced. As for the second attack here, there's just no point in the second attack. I mean, the second attack here for 2 Darkness, 2 Colourless Energy does 120 damage flat. Now, to be fair, that will get a 1-hit KO on Gengar and Mimikyu, but you need triple acceleration energy and 2 Darkness. That's awkward. I mean, really, we expect the first attack, which can be done for a single attachment, to yield 110, and I know that 120 can make a big difference, but it's too expensive, ladies and gentlemen. If you're playing it, you're playing it for the first attack, and the first attack can be really good, but yeah, I just feel like it might not do enough damage, and I think we've just got better options. I'm giving it between 2 and 3 Wossies. I don't think it's a bad card. I just think there are other Darkness Pokemon I'd rather play instead. Oh, we don't give half Wossies, that would be barbaric. But I'd like to know what you think. Not about half Wossies are always barbaric. I want to know what you think about the card. So go nuts in the comment section, but please do remember the rule. Be nice, would you? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where we talk about games that don't even have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.